Right then, so looking at your sort of movement now, okay, the left-hand one was your before. Okay, if we look at your lower half move as the club goes back, a bit of a slide there. You just look at your sort of head losing a bit of height, sort of dropping and dipping down there. Knee kind of moving out to the right there. So once that knee kind of goes, it sort of restricts your backswing a bit shorter there, okay? This knee's starting to do a little bit of this movement out here, which on a flat line, not too bad, but on a downhill or uphill line, you're losing a bit of stability there, okay? And it restricts your backswing no matter how much you can move, okay? Then as you try and come through the golf ball, your knees trying to sort of get back to where it needs to get to, but the club's already come down here now. You can't get on your left side as easily. Hang back a little bit, hit the ground behind the golf ball, then coming through, lower half staying down a little bit, looks a bit tucked up there, and then through to a finished position, kind of right foot's kind of coming round, but a bit more of an afterthought at the end there, okay? So the practice movement you want to go through, okay, is make some swings on the range where you sort of, go back to start, okay, so do your practice movement just to there, try and make no leg movement at all. Your knee moves a little bit as we can see. Swing the club to there and then keep going to the top, okay, so your right hip now kind of moving more around you and the knee now staying inside that kind of line. So a bit more hip turn actually gives you a slightly longer backswing. Not a bad or a good way, just giving you more turn and more, you said it felt more free flowing and more fuller because you're able to move more. Now, I think that little right foot ankle's rolling a bit this way just because of the fact that trains are maybe a bit less stability than your golf is, okay? As long as the knees kind of stay inside the confines of kind of the legs here. So as you then start coming down, now we can start moving the hips towards the green line on the left-hand side, not the right as we look at the left as you're playing, and your legs now can move through this line, come at the golf ball, good strike there would be impact, okay, and then through to look how much movement now on that right foot there would be compared to that one. Your knees are sort of coming around a lot fuller. Now, when you then step to the golf ball, you just hit the golf ball. Okay, those thoughts are sort of slightly there in your head kind of thing. Okay, lower half there, not moving too quick, which is good. As you go back, right leg now, really nice. A bit long in the swing, slightly, which is why you maybe losing a bit of control sometimes, okay? I don't want to sort of overthink things and start worrying about that too much at the moment, okay? But at least that lower half, that leg staying inside that green line. Now we can start moving towards that front green line, so your hips now moving laterally to get yourself over the golf ball. Strike now on top of the golf ball. Arms, different colour, lead arm, club, hands, chest, all sort of in that good impact position there, striking down the golf ball, and then moving through your right foot now, right the way through around your chest, and that's a much more fuller, freer swing with your feet there. That right foot's going around a lot more than we can actually see the full sole of your shoe there, can't you? Whereas this one's a bit sort of like, almost a bit forward and kicked out slightly, where the knee's kind of gone out and around and kind of finished this way as opposed to right the way around. So just getting that lower half to work a bit better, okay? Be careful not to overdo the move too quickly, okay? Because obviously, again, with this before, you can move too much one way or t'other or side to side, up and down. It's got to move after so far. I don't want to try and put a specific spot on that swing, but you should be able to generally swing the club to about here without any minimal or any real lower half movement at all, yeah? You're flexible enough, and most people should be able to turn their shoulders roughly about 45 degrees with the hips staying fairly straight and the knees still quite similar to what they started with, okay? As you then blend that backswing into it, the hips are now going to start turning with that. That, to me, now will be the better backswing, okay? You go a bit too far because maybe you're just trying to turn it around a bit too much. And that Goldilocks, that Goldilocks kind of like going too far the other way. But like I say, you're somebody who does it too much, which is fine, because then you can sort of find a middle ground kind of in between these two swings rather than just keep going too far this way, okay? Now then bring that right foot back a little bit flatter on the ground, but the knee's not going outside this way, the weight's going back more towards your right heel and deeper into your back, which is good. Now you can move a little bit more this way towards target, get that better strike, okay? If you're swaying outside your right knee on the way back, your club's going to generally bottom out early, hit the ground early, and you'll thin it or flatter, okay? And depending on what you do on the ground, it'll either be one or the other, okay? Now in terms of the three as you asked, if we go back to setup, okay? So there's your kind of setup with a 7-iron, okay? Ball position is probably just left of centre, yeah? So if we put your, if we put your feet markers here, so that's kind of where your 7-irons, which is actually fine. I put your left foot there and your right foot there, okay? That green line's just left of centre, yeah? Now, if you take your 3-wood setup, being a bigger club, your left foot stays there and your right foot goes here, okay? Which now seems that green line's further forward, isn't it?
Okay.
Because you made the stance wider. The same way,
set up as a
slightly bigger stance, yeah. You'll be slightly further from the golf ball, okay? You don't want the ball to be off the left heel like a driver because the ball's on a tee peg. And even on a tee peg, it'll be such a shallow one anyway. It's not going to be hitting up on the ball, are you? Okay, so you're sort of positioning it similarly as you would do to any club off the ground, relative to your front foot. Okay, but as your stance gets wider, the perception of the ball moves forward. On the same regard, if you're chipping and you bring your right foot in closer here, that ball's gone back in the stance. But your feet are now just a lot narrower. The ball now is back in your stance off that right foot, but the ball's still the same distance away from that lead foot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So your movement of your feet going to go in here, 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 changes the ball position effectively.
Yeah.
You're not sort of shuffling up and down like a penguin going side to side, up and down, back to front, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
good.
absolutely, yeah.
Good man, very good. That's good.